So it's done. I finally finished Gothic 1 Remake. And let's talk about it a little bit. I have to start at the beginning. When I first saw the THQ preview like years ago, that they gonna showing the snippet of the game they are trying to remake and they wanted to get the attention. If anybody out there is for a Gothic remake, I was there. I was playing the playtest and I was saying, hey, this is not the Gothic. This is like, it's cool, right? I see Diego, or at least attempt that what it should be Diego. I see the scavengers, or at least what it should be scavengers, but the game, like, it was not it. It was not it, but I was all down. I was like, hey, Gothic remake is the right thing, but you have to do it right, you know? You have to do it faithfully. You have to take everything that was in the Gothic and just make it a little bit better, a little bit nicer, and be able to play on the modern PC and modern consoles and everything like that. And I think it will be smash hit because it was a European game, and I feel at that time when Gothic 1 was released, 1 year later or something like that, the Elder Scrolls Morrowind was released, I feel it was just so underrated. It was so under the radar. I don't think that there was so many people around the world playing Gothic. But in Europe, when I was growing up, right now I am kind of in, it was something that was really close to us. And I remember playing with my friend on one PC. I said it many times on the stream because it's one of the core memories that I fell in love with RPGs, was the Gothic one. And I feel that what was cool for the Gothic at that time, they kind of improved upon the formula. They took like a gamble with the mechanics they introduced, and I think was better than the things that were around at that time. I feel like that, right? Over the time, over the years that the new RPGs were coming out, the more and more the RPG and then the exploration part of the RPGs were missing. The progression of your character to feel good about the progression starting to lose out as well. And there was a lot of things kind of going. For example, nowadays in the games or new RPGs or new games that are coming out, you are kind of led on, you know, they will grab your hand and they're going with you the whole time. They're saying you, hey, now turn left, now turn right. You know what? You don't need map. You open the map, you will click somewhere and there is an arrow that is pointing you out where it is. When you're around, you have the minimap and it's shining somewhere here it is. And when you kind of looking for it, it's got the bright yellow outline that is showing like this is it, or is shining or something. So you can kind of turn off your brain and just be led on the whole time. And there is a cinematic, you will be like, oh, and then you can turn off your brain again. And I feel that's such a loss because in Gothic, you were in the world that didn't want you there. That was literally it. You were coming to the Gothic right at the beginning. They was like, welcome to the colony. They will just give you a fist to the face. You'll fall to the ground. You don't even know what's going on. Where are you? Who are you? Don't even care about your name. Just nothing. And you are trying to just get yourself up, get yourself around to find out, hey, where I belong. How can I contribute even though nobody cares? And that was such a cool evolution of your character. Even though you didn't know his name and anything like that, you just going through that colony one scavenger at a time, one level up at a time, and you are feeling more and more powerful. Not just by the number that you are doing, but the knowledge of the colony that you had. Like your own imagination, when they told you, hey, you need to go to something, you're like, oh, I went around that. That was a cave or something. And you were like, oh, this is so nice. You were starting to put the map to your head because nobody was telling you like, you know, you need to go this place and there was something pointing to that place. There were certainly things that would help you, right? There would be NPC like, hey, I will show you. And he would lead you to that. But with the more knowledge you had, you felt more and more comfortable in that colony. The next playthrough you would go for, you would have that knowledge because nothing was procedurally generated. So you could skip things. You could go for the weapon that you found randomly in some cave and you felt like, oh, this could help me. And in the next playthrough, you are going into the cave. And because you know that it is, for example, one wolf guarding it, you are able to prepare yourself to kill it and get yourself the loot. Or you will find a bow that is on the ship, right, and on the beach, and if you will get it, there it's certainly good bow. Next playthrough, you are going for the archer and you can get that bow. And those things that you are kind of learning is just so satisfying because you feel like you come up with that idea. You own the game. You grew with playing. And it's just so frustrating to see other RPGs nowadays. They are not willing to go to uncomfortable kind of way as a Gothic done in before. And now go to the remake. And why I'm talking about the Gothic, like a Gothic 1 in the past and not really Gothic remake, because I feel that from that preview that I had years ago and they just wanted to grab the attention, if there is people that would love that, they evolve it so much. They just correct everything. Like Diego looks like Diego, the colony looks like colony, the scavenger, like everything. I feel that they write. I was so skeptical. I was excited, don't get me wrong, I was excited to play the Gothic 1 remake, but I was so skeptical. I thought, yeah, this will be garbage. There will be so many wrong things with the game. They will just mess it up. But I have to say with honesty in my heart, yeah, they have not. They really pulled through and they done a great job. My bar was kind of low. It was kind of on that point that I wanted to be as good as they would go for the Gothic 2. And I am free to say, hey, bring me Gothic 2 and tomorrow is late. I wanted yesterday. I wanted to end the Gothic 1 and go straight for the Gothic 2. And I've done it. I have to say, I installed the Gothic 2, not the remake because that's not existent, but the normal Gothic 2. I just had to play it. Right after I played the Gothic 1, I just went into it. I was like, hey, I need to check that one again because this is insanely nice to have this nostalgia trip. And now my point, I was like, hey, is it only the nostalgia because I know the colony, because I was there before? But based on the positive reviews of the people and they are praising the game, a lot of reviews and then people on the internet were like, oh my god, this is great. I was like, hey, maybe I'm not alone. Maybe this is not like, oh, it's only nostalgia trip. The game has some qualities, and the qualities I hope will stick around. It's not only for this game, but also for other companies to learn that you can make RPG as of old, but nowadays. And why I'm talking about that old RPG, because they had quite a lot of things that it will not be possible. People would not go for it nowadays. For example, with the learning the skills, right? When you start, you're holding the sword like a just dumbass. You know, you're holding one hand sword with the two hands, you are just slashing, you are slow, if you will slash, you can't really dodge from the attack because you are slow, you don't know how to handle the weapon. But if you invest points into it, you will start to get hang of it. So now if you are like trying to go for the swing, you're holding it in one hand, you are able to get from the attack. So you are swinging and then you will like, oh no, he's attacking, and you are able to react faster. The character is better with the weapon. You can start using combos. There is a possibility to get critical strike. You are able to parry and you are kind of getting better in the game. So through your lenses on your character, you feel more and more badass. The enemies that were just bullying you in the colony, they wanted to pay you money for you to be able to even like go around. Now you're able to smash them on the ground, talk to them and be like, hey, don't do it again. And I was like, oh my god, sorry. And that's so satisfying to do this because you feel that you are evolving and you are also like interacting with the world. So that's super cool. Also, one thing that I was super worried about, and nowadays is a big issue in my opinion, that the text and the script and the conversations that's going around are just so stupid. I'm so mad. Yeah, now I'm watching Avatar Airbender, right, on the Netflix, the second season. Oh my god, I am in the midst that I am trying to pull my hair out. It's kind of working, but it's ridiculous. Some of the conversation they have, it's just so cringe, so unnecessary. It's like, hey, we need this line in there, even though it doesn't make any sense, even though it's just not helping anything, we need to put it there. And I feel that that's just nowadays the thing. I'm cringing so much on so many conversations in games, in shows, in films, but in here, I felt they nailed it. I felt this natural conversation. There is a little bit of banter, a little bit of like, I don't know, like I didn't felt like the conversation are kind of stiff. The characters had really interesting characters to them, characteristic. Then I don't know, I felt like, hey, they nailed the conversation. That's super good to praise because nowadays I don't feel it's standard. I feel it's opposite of that, you know? So I spent in the game almost like 80 hours now, and And I have to say, I had the great time. And while I was streaming the game and I was playing my playthrough as a warrior guy, I was going for the new camp and, you know, going that way. In the midst of the streaming, because I'm streaming 2 times per week, you can find the links in the description. I decided to start over immediately. So during my playthrough, I started over and I was like going for the mage and going to the old camp and trying to be fire mage. So I was kind of catching up to my like a character that was the most forward on the stream that I was playing. But behind that, I was going for my mage and then trying different things and trying to use those the knowledge that I found. For example, how to find a spell, who will give me the spell, you know? And then I was like, okay, so I can get my fireball here. So I need to get this and this, and it will be easy. Oh, this guy's learning how to get more mana. Okay, can I get there? Or how to get my first armor, because I found it in my first playthrough super late. I was just randomly step on it, right? And I was like beyond that point. But now I knew, oh, if I will go here, I will get the armor. Then I can go here, and they ask me if I am the miner, right? I was unable to tell him like, yes, I am, because I wasn't. And I didn't know how to like, you know, become one. But after that, I found out. And with the next character, I was able to just go for it immediately, and it was just, oh my god, this is so nice. So I'm enjoying the Gothic, and then it's interesting because the game is kind of linear. The story is set. There is not like a conclusion, like several endings based on what you choose. There are several of things that they are kind of going for it, but nothing major, right? Everything is kind of on the rails. That's a flaw, and also that's a great thing. But the fact that immediately after I was playing, I was willing to go back into the game, go for it again, is just, in my books, super cool. I just was surprised by myself, you know, because normally I'm not doing that. Normally I will go through it and then I have it fresh in my mind and I know the steps that I need to do, kind of pulling me out of it a little bit, because when I play again, I just know the path that I have to take to get to the spot, and that's kind of, you know, putting me off a little bit. I need that exploration. I need that novelty of, I don't know what will happen. That's kind of what pulling me forward. One thing that I have to mention, there was a lot of additions to the remake, for example, the climbing, and there was the mini games that were kind of introduced, for example, lockpicking. That is the worst part of the game, hands down. I hate the lockpicking minigame, and I feel they should kind of change it. I don't know, it's getting better with more points you will invest. That's still the case. I really like the idea that you can open every single lock out there. You don't even have to have the mastery of the lockpicking, and you can just spend there like ages to open every single lock. But I feel that they should change the amount of plays that moving. Like if you play the game, that there is like a mini game that you can learn. Yeah, like you can figure it out by logically see what's going on. But some of the locks are just insanely hard, and you can kind of get stuck when you do wrong moves. You will get to the position that you have to restart the lock and start over and do the right moves. I feel in the master locking, you should be able to like separately move a lot of those locks, because they are connected. If you will move one, maybe 3 will move at the same time. I feel it should get more separated and separated. Out of 5 plates, only 2 with the master locking are moving together. The rest is just you will click and you will move it to the right spot. I feel that should be the case. It's maybe my opinion, but I feel that would be so much better. And I felt like, you know, I want that pick locking mastery, because that's just making it so much better. So there are certainly like problems. There are sound problems in the game that I don't know, stomping from your mount are not recognized by the game. But those are small things. Those are absolutely small things. In my opinion, the performance were good. As I was saying, the story, the conversation, the combat, everything was tight. So I feel they done great job. And there will be in August, I think there will be HQ like showcase. I hope they announce something cool. I don't think that they will go route that they will do a DLC. I don't think that they will go for it. I'm not sure, right? They could like pull a new region, even though it doesn't make sense. I hope they will not. I hope they will keep it as it is. Right now, the Gothic 1 is done, and let's start working on the Gothic 2. I think it could be quicker, because now they have the engine. Now they will just need to reconstruct all the assets for the new region. But I feel that a lot of things going for it, they could have it in like 2-3 years. Am I optimistic? Hopefully I am. So yeah, I wanted to check out back with you what the Gothic 1. I enjoy my time with so much. I will certainly return to the game in the future. I will finish my second playthrough for the mage, and I want to go for Harsha as well, and the last camp, that's the swamp camp, right? And I want to join as well and try to see it from that side. But yeah, the game is absolutely great. For me, it was highlight of this year for sure. I don't think that everybody everybody will feel so strongly about it, but I certainly recommend it. It's kind of old school RPG that have a new kind of approach, like a modern vibe, but it's still true to the what was great about the RPGs in the past. And I feel, you know, they'll nail, at least for me, that feeling why I fell in love with RPGs, why I loved afterwards to go for the World of Warcraft and so on, because that feeling of progression of your character and your choices kind of matter, and not only the choices of the dialogue and where you're going with the story, but also like, you know, I will pick this skill, I will invest time in it and money and the skill point and everything, and I will just get better in that, and I'm kind of locking myself out of some things in the world that would help me. If I would have more mana, I would be able to approach this situation differently, but I don't. Those are the things that you are kind of going around, you know, and you are feeling, if I would have that now, that would be so good, I would be able to use it. Or you find super cool spell, but you are not a mage, right? Or like, oh my god, next time I will be playing mage, I will find it will be so nice. Or the bow that I mentioned before. Those are the moments that, at least for me, are the replayability. That's what it calls to me, like, oh, how things would be different for me if I would have the different set of skills now. I would be able to approach it differently, and it would be so much more fun or different. So yeah, there's so much good about it. That will do it for me. Thank you very much for watching it until this point. If you did, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. It's taking me a long time, but it is what it is, you know, grind is grind. So yeah, enjoy your life. Let me know down below what you think about the Gothic one, and I will see you in the next video in the future, soon or later or something like that. Have a good one. Stop by and stream. Bye.